Well, the Facebook data scandal is blooming while confidence in the social media giant is waning. Today, company CEO Mark Zuckerberg faces yet another congressional grilling about his company's futures plans to protect user data. Fox 5 I-Team's Dana Fowle is digging into Zuckerberg's testimony before a Senate panel. What'd you come up with, Dana?
Well, you know, the very media shy and T-shirt wearing CEO sat down before senators yesterday in a blue suit to answer 2 days of some tough questions. He's in the hot seat, as you know, because Facebook admits a company called Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, grabbed the data of 87 million users without their knowledge. That's you, folks, to help create psychological profiles on you. And then they targeted folks, again, you, with fake news and a whole bunch more. But before Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg took these hard questions on day one of this congressional hearing, he released a 7-page statement. He said in that Facebook didn't do enough to protect its users from fake news, foreign interference in elections, hate speech, and it didn't protect your privacy. And he takes responsibility. He said, "It was my mistake. I am responsible for what happens here." Now, early on in day one of questioning, Senator Orrin Hatch, who's a Republican from Utah, seemed to believe that it should be obvious that social media, while free to you, it has to be paid for somewhere. Listen in.
Some have professed themselves shocked that companies like Facebook and Google share user data with advertisers. Did any of these individuals ever stop to ask themselves why Facebook and Google don't charge for access? Nothing in life is free. Everything involves trade-offs. If you want something without having to pay money for it, you're going to have to pay for it in some other way, it seems to me.
But he, like most others there, believe the problem is really about transparency. Dick Durbin, who's a Democrat from Illinois, put the young billionaire on the spot.
Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about. Your right to privacy, the limits of your right to privacy, and how much you give away.
Bingo. And here are 2 things that Mark Zuckerberg said he would do or consider doing to protect users and their personal information. 1, he agreed to submit some ideas regarding potential regulation of Facebook to the group. 2, to notify users within 72 hours if their data had been breached. And he will face a House panel today for a lot more questions.
Yeah, so one of the questions we have after seeing and hearing what happened is, are we going to have to start paying for Facebook?
Well, and that came up because at one point he said something like, there will always be a free version of Facebook, and people went, whoa,
yeah, that was very open-ended.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of folks had the same question. It is a business. It needs to make money to survive. If the social media company's ability to make money through ads and such is limited, we're going to likely have to make up that difference, but that's all we know at this point. And I said this earlier, what I found surprising and disappointing was too few of those senators seemed to understand how social media worked. It became abundantly clear they probably never even signed on to social media. So hopefully today's panel discussion will deep dive a little bit more, and maybe their interns or aides
help them out.
Well, help them out with some deeper questions about analytics.
Yeah, it makes sense. And one of the things he said too is he admitted to the fact that he knows that the privacy, all those contracts that are on there, they're long, and he says that nobody really reads them. And
because
we talk
about this all the time. Yeah. He said you have absolute 100% control over all of this. Well, maybe, but I've dug through it too, and it's hard to understand.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly. There's some wiggle room on that, but the policies are long and agreements are long, and Senator John Kennedy said, why don't you put it in plain English so we can understand it? And that's a very good point.
Yeah, well, there's an idea.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so you don't have to have a lawyer to help you understand your social media engagement.
Okay, all right, following this for us, Dana.
I'm going to watch today. I love a boring long meeting, so I'll watch for you.
I love it. Okay, then she'll be updating us on that. We appreciate it, Dana.